Hi, I'm Mary Crowley, and this is Zing, a show for children. It's new. This is the first time that PEGTV has ever had a show for children. I'm going to sing a song for you that I made up. It's not a wonderful song. Anybody can make up a song, and I'm not a wonderful singer, but anybody can sing. So let me sing my song. May I please spend some time with you? I would like that. Yes, I'd like that. Would you like that too? I hope you'll stay with me. We have quite a bit to talk about. Pumpkins, the Halloween parade, apples, a guest in costume, and even more. Now we're going to a pumpkin farm. We are at Winslow Farm with Andrea Winslow, and all around us are pumpkins. Andrea and her husband Mark raise pumpkins, mostly orange, but also a darker green, a lighter green, and we're here today just to talk about pumpkins. Mm-hmm. Andrea, first of all, how do you get a pumpkin?
Well, we have to start with pumpkin seeds.
With seeds, okay. Mm-hmm. Apparently not everybody knows that.
Right, and when we get ours through a catalog, Mr. Winslow sits down and decides what kind of pumpkins he wants to grow, and he orders the seeds.
And when do you put the seeds in the ground?
About the last week of May, right around Memorial Day weekend, is when Mr. Winslow starts planting the pumpkin seeds.
Okay. And then what do you do during the summer as they grow?
Well, as they grow, they will take water and food from the soil, as well as sunshine from the air and water from the air, and all of that will kind of feed them, and they will start to grow and grow, and then they will get a little flower, and the flower will develop into a pumpkin.
And sometimes do you have to give them more food or more water if it doesn't rain enough?
If it doesn't rain enough, lots of times we have to give them more water, and we have to give them more food through the whole summer, and we have to go through and get rid of the other weeds that we don't want to grow, so that they don't take the sunshine and the rain and the food away from the pumpkins.
Yes.
So.
And I know that it's hard to raise pumpkins because I tried it one summer, and oh my goodness, there were all kinds of pests and things that happened.
Lots of critters like to eat the pumpkins.
Right, they do. When do the pumpkins really ripen so that, they can be picked?
They will start about July. We'll start with little green pumpkins that will develop. And all through the summer they'll grow and start about the middle of August. They'll start to turn a little bit orange. And towards the end of August and the first part of September is when they'll really finish ripening and be all orange and ready to be picked.
All right, now we're at the very end of September now. Are they all ready to be picked, or are some of them ripening still?
Most of them are ready to be picked, but there are some of those that got started a little bit later.
Okay.
And so that they still have a little green or are still finishing growing. Yep.
Okay, well, I'm excited to be here. I think a pumpkin patch, a huge pumpkin patch, is very exciting. So thank you so very much for sharing.
Thank you.
I have some questions for you about pumpkins. Some of you will know the answers, I'm sure, but some of you may not. Where do pumpkins come from? Do they come from the grocery store, the farmer's market? Pumpkins come from pumpkin plants. Where do pumpkin plants come from? They come from seeds. And where do the seeds come from? They come from inside the pumpkin. The pumpkin, if I were to cut this pumpkin, go through it, you would see, along with some pulp that people make pumpkin pie from, you would see pumpkin seeds. And pumpkin seeds have to be in the ground. And you saw some pictures. The pumpkin seed opens and a little sprout comes out, and then all of a sudden it turns green, and all of a sudden it gets leaves, and then it pops out of the ground. Then, at a certain point, it has flowers, and bees come to the flowers. Then the pumpkin starts, and it starts small. I know because I've tried to raise pumpkins. Not easy. It is a small green pumpkin, and it grows, and it grows, and it grows, and when it's bright orange, then you know it's ready to be picked. Now, if you're raising green pumpkins or almost white pumpkins, then they won't be orange, but we know orange pumpkins, most of us. Have you ever been to a pumpkin farm? If you haven't, I recommend it. Now we're going to go into a little section of the show with words and numbers. The first word I want to talk about is please. The word please I put in the song, May I Please, because to me it's a magic word. It's a word that is soft, and it means I like you. It means I'm asking your permission. May I please? So the more you can use the word please and say it in a soft kind of way, I think the better off you'll be. It's just like thank you. Please and thank you are magic. They open doors. They do things that other words don't. Orange is the color that we're featuring today. And we have so much that's orange here. What do you see that's orange? Well, first of all, if you're looking over here to the left, you see the pumpkin on the ground. You see some orange in the painting that I did. You see orange pumpkin. You see orange on Elmo's nose. You see another orange pumpkin. Then you see orange in back of me. We decided we'd put some orange up on the set, just to make it clear that this is October, and orange is a color that you'll see in many places. The trick-or-treat bag is orange. It just looks like a rectangle now, but it's a trick-or-treat bag. Esmeralda the witch has on orange. She has on an orange scarf, and she has on orange around her pin. Now there are different tones of orange. This is a lighter orange, and this is a little bit middle orange, and this around this pin is dark orange. Also, I wanted to fit in today, so I've got orange shirt and an orange scarf. And I think I've got all the orange things. If I've missed something, oh well, it's all right. So orange is the color for today. The number for today is number 1, and it is right up there. The number 1 can be written that way, or it can be written just with one line. One thing. And the one I want to emphasize today is about you. You are one of a kind. You are special because there is only one of you. Also, there's only one Elmo here, and only one witch, and only one easel over there. The number is 1. Pumpkin is something that I dearly love. The word pumpkin begins with the sound P, the letter P, P. And so does the word please. That begins with the sound P. Please, pumpkin. There are other words that begin with the letter P. If you have a cat or a dog, you have a pet. P. There's a fruit, a pear. P. The word Pat can mean a lot of things. Let's say you had an Uncle Patrick. He might be called Pat. If you knew somebody named Patricia, her name might be Pat for short. And also, there's such a thing as a pat A pat on the back. When I was teaching and a student did something special, and we both thought it was special, the student did and I did as the teacher, I would say, give yourself a pat on the back. And the student would go like that. And we both felt good. I don't know, I like that. Let's go on to my good friend, Esmeralda, the witch. Hi, Esmeralda. Hi. I've never been in a place like this. You haven't? No. It's wonderful. There's so much, and cameras and people. Oh, my. Esmeralda, do you like Halloween? I love Halloween. I have so much fun. Good. Why do you have fun? What is it about Halloween that you like? Well, the best thing is I have friends, ghoulies and ghosties and things that go hump in the night. Oh, ghoulies and ghosties and things that go thump in the night. Yes! We have so much fun. I'm glad. What do you do on Halloween night, Esmeralda? Well, on Halloween night, I go with my friends, the ghoulies and ghosties, and I fly. You fly. How do you fly? On a broomstick? Yes, of course. Did you think that I flew a plane? No. I thought you were on a broomstick. Where do you fly, Esmeralda? Well, I like to fly all over hills and mountains and cities and towns and creeks and rivers and orchards. Oh, good, Esmeralda. That's a good segue to go to the next section. First, thank you very much for being on the show. You're welcome. I liked it. And on we go to an apple orchard. We are at Menden Mountain Orchards in the orchard itself. And you can see the trees. They're magnificent. There are red apples on the trees. And it is the very end of September. And I have with me Brittany Charles, and she's going to answer a few questions about the orchard. First of all, when do the blossoms come on the trees?
Around Mother's Day weekend in May.
In May. And that's a beautiful time. I know as I drive by, I think, oh, I need to go stop and take a closer look. All right, then what do you need to have the apples grow?
Bees are the one thing that we absolutely need, and we rent them.
Okay. All right, and then the blossoms come in May and Mother's Day, and then when do you start to get the first red ripe apples?
Around Labor Day weekend in September.
All right, and then when do the apples really stop ripening?
Around Columbus Day weekend in October.
In October. So that's an easy way to remember the whole thing. It is a beautiful spot here.
Thank you.
The forest in back, the orchard itself, just a wonderful place. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Apples are like pumpkins. They're not all the same. Sometimes they're red, Sometimes they're red and light green. And I'm thinking about Vermont apples when I say that. But you can go picking apples now, or you can go to a store and get them. They're wonderful. Apple pies, apple crisp, apple sauce. Apples are a part of what we can get in Vermont in October. There's something else special that happens in October in Vermont, and that is there is the Halloween parade. First of all, let's look at some superheroes. At the Recreation Department building, the Corcel building, on North Street, which is off Main Street, there is a museum with great big figures, great big paintings of superheroes. Some of them you've never seen before, and some of them you'll know. The Museum of the Superheroes is open any day that the Recreation Building is open. And it's free, and you just go in and say you want to see the superheroes. It's fun. Now I'm going to lead into the parade. This year the parade will be Saturday, October 28th. That's 2/8. 2/8. 28 at 6:30 p.m. in downtown Rutland. The parade is the Saturday before Halloween. Halloween is always the 31st. That's the trick-or-treating day. But the parade is the Saturday before. So let's look at the Halloween parade, not this year's, but the way it's been in the past. Welcome back. I'm here with Mallory, who is dressed for Halloween in her orange and black costume. And this is not the only costume Mallory has. She has other costumes. Mallory, how old are you?
5.
Can you count to 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Very nice. Do you go to school?
Yes.
And what grade are you in?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten. Is that a good grade?
Yeah.
What's your teacher's name?
The piano.
Mrs. Campopiano. That's a long name, isn't it? Okay, Mallory, you have more than one costume. So why don't I just right now show some of the others, and you can say something about it.
A clown.
Well, this is a clown. It is beautiful. Oh, you need to stay in the chair because you have a microphone on. Oh, look at this one.
Jungle.
Ah, that's so much fun. And we have another one that has a hat with it. And I'm going to take the hat out, and then it will be clear what you are if you wear this costume. This is a costume for...
I don't know.
For what?
I forgot.
It's a devil, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're a little devil sometimes. Okay. And just a few more questions. Are you going out on Halloween? Will you go trick-or-treating?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like to get when you go trick-or-treating?
Lollipop.
Lollipops. Anything else?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Do you have a favorite kind of chocolate, or is it any kind of chocolate?
Milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate is the best. It's coming up soon. I'm very happy, Mallory, that you wore your orange and black costume with your striped
A
orange.
green pumpkin.
It's a green pumpkin. Yes, you noticed. Pumpkins come in orange and green and darker green.
And blue.
Not in blue.
Yes, they do.
You think so?
They actually do.
Oh, I've seen one that's painted blue. Have you?
I once painted a pumpkin orange.
You did? Good.
Painted a pumpkin orange. And the stem.
And the stem too? Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Well, I can say thank you very, very much for coming today. And I hope you have a happy Halloween. I have some art of mine to share. First of all, there's a painting down here, and I think I'll hold it up here. I think this will work. This is a painting that I made up. I thought to myself, wouldn't it be fun to have a painted pumpkin stand? I've never seen such a thing, but I thought, oh, you wouldn't have to carve the pumpkin. You could just have the faces painted on. And so I made this up, and I had a good time painting it. And you could paint a pumpkin if you felt like it. Also, above me, there is a painting that I did of a bus made into something for the Halloween parade. Years ago, Jeannie Podolak of Barstow School had a school bus in the parade, and she had children dressed as ghosts at every single window. And in my painting, I decided that I would put different kinds of characters. There's a ghost. There is a witch hanging out of the window. There is a scary face. Looks as if he's afraid. There's a jack-o'-lantern person. There is a skeleton head. And driving the bus is a Frankenstein monster. Of course, drifting along with the bus is a ghost. I thought I might write and illustrate another children's book, and that's why I did that painting of the ghoul bus. I had a great time doing it. It was just great fun because I love Halloween. I also did 3 pencil drawings. One of a pumpkin, another of 3 apples, and another of Esmeralda. I did the 3 drawings because I just wanted to do some drawing, and I wanted to think about what I'd have on this show, this first Zing show. And I used a plain pencil, yellow pencil with an eraser at the top, and then I used a second pencil, which was an artist's pencil called an ebony pencil, and that made a darker black line. Now I'm going to go over to the easel and draw for a little while. The first thing I'm going to do is to draw grasping the drawing tool as if I were a little child, and I'm going to draw a pumpkin the way I think a little child might draw a pumpkin. Keep in mind that if you are a child and you're just starting to make marks on paper, what you will do first probably is go back and forth with a crayon or a marker or a pencil, and up and down, and around, and then whatever way you want to. And you'll cover the paper with what is called scribbles. Scribbles are fine. That's how children all over the world start to draw, with scribbles. So let me go over to the easel and put up a piece of paper. And this first drawing is the way a little child might decide to draw. Any drawing tool is fine. You can draw with a pencil, a pen, a crayon, a marker. You can draw with paint and a brush. Anything at all can be a drawing tool. Anything. But I'm using something simple. So I'm going to grasp this the way a child might do it. And children don't usually make lines that are just so. They make wiggly lines, which is fine. That's the way it starts. Children, and they don't always get the lines where they want them to be. Now, if I were a little child and I were looking at the pumpkin, I would think, oh, the pumpkin has that big thing, that stem on the top. I might not even know the word stem, but I would put this up here. There's a stem. And then there's another thing I notice when I look. It looks like there are lines. They're really sort of bumps. And then it goes in, and here's another bump, and it goes in, a bump, and the pumpkin goes in. And all of the pumpkins seem to have that. The green one shows that, I guess, more clearly than anything else. But they're all like that. So if I knew that there were bumps and lines, I might just do this. And there is the way a little child might draw a pumpkin. Now, this isn't the way every child would draw a pumpkin, but it's the way some might do it. All right, now if I were going to draw a pumpkin, I have another piece of paper here. I won't be able to finish it, but I can start. I would probably start with a pencil. And I'd look at a pumpkin, and I'm looking at this one right here. And I'm going, okay, here, goes around like this, and then it comes around like this, and up like this. And then here it's a little bit different. It goes in here, and then it's different. And then the stem goes, and you won't be able to see this, I guess, until I put some marker lines. But you'll have seen my pencil drawing, so I think maybe you'll understand. All right, there we go. Now, here we go. Here we go. And I'm drawing what I see as the outline of this pumpkin. And I'll wait for the ridges and the lines until later. Actually, I wish I brought the pencil. The pencil's easier to draw with than the marker. Oh, well, that's all right. Now, here's the stem. The stem is very interesting. The stem has all these bumps at the bottom. Bump, bump, bump. And then it comes up, and it's kind of like this. There's lines in it, too. The lines from the pumpkin go down like this. That's how they go. They go from here and they curve. And that's about as far as I can get now. I notice it is time to go. And so I want to say to you, you are wonderful. You are one of a kind. There's nobody else like you. Wonderful you. Thanks for watching. Hope you come back for Zing.